Yeah, baking cookies or maybe going fishing. Those were common activities, at least for my generation, when hanging out with grandparents.
Yeah, but times have changed, and a grandparent today may be looking for a way to stay in their lane while also bridging the digital gap.
So true. Our certified life coach, Marlene Boas, is here with her must-know tips. And this is a topic that I truly think is going to speak to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And you want the connection with your grandkids. Yes. You also don't want to like irritate your kid, yeah. Right?
That's so true. That is so true. And you really have to understand it's different now with digital technology and with all the information these parents have from sort of conception on, you know, apps for this, apps for that. They have way more knowledge and information than we did as parents.
Oh yeah, it's a totally different, you know, generation. It's almost like you have to think about, would I want my, you know, mom to kind of be as involved as, you know, I'm trying to be. So you just kind of have to put yourself in their shoes.
That's right. And we, you know, those of us who had children and are grandparents, we have a lot of experience, but it might not be as relevant. Things have changed. Parenting practices have changed.
Well, so talk to us about like how to make a connection with the kids without stepping on toes.
Right.
Because like maybe it's not a digital connection, but like baking, that's not out of fashion, is it?
Oh, no, no, no.
Exactly.
I just made Christmas cookies with my granddaughter. But what you have to remember, the important relationship is with your grandchildren. But in order to have that, you have to have the good relationship with that grandchild's parents.
Right.
So if you're the paternal grandparents, you have to know you might be second string. It's just natural.
It's just the way it works.
It's just the way it is. You know, but it's still really important. You need second violins in the orchestra, okay?
Yeah.
Because moms naturally have an affinity with their mother, and so that comes through. That's called the matrilineal advantage. That's cool. Accept it. It's not personal.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, reinforce that they're doing a good job as parents. You know, with all this social media and this parent and they're doing this, am I doing enough? There's all this kind of, you know, input. So reassure the parents that they're doing a good job, and that will strengthen that relationship.
Do you ask them, like, hey, is it okay if I get them this gift? Is it okay? Like, is it important to be asking those questions so they know that you respect them?
Exactly.
Absolutely. And also, instead of offering a suggestion or a critique about something, you can pose it as a question. For instance, you know, feeding infants solid food is very different than when I was a mother. Like, they give chunks and stuff, and it's kind of horrifying for those who learn differently. Yeah. And so rather than, don't do that, they'll choke, you could say, talk to them about the current feeding trends. Like, how does this work now?
Yeah.
So you ask them to tell you, and then that opens a discussion without them getting defensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because once they get defensive, then they don't listen.
That's right.
Yeah, they shut down and they're like, you know, I've heard enough from you.
Right,
yeah.
right.
And the last thing you want is for them to say, well, I don't want you to come back and be involved. Yeah.
That's right. And always support their rules and whatever. Don't undermine it. Don't spoil the kids, because that creates tension and things that won't work well in the long run.
You know what, though? I think I mean, I've never been a parent or a grandparent, but I think it's one of the best jobs out there, because I have such special memories of my grandparents, and you know, how, you know, you get sort of a license to spoil a little bit, right?
Yes, spoil emotionally, you know, not with stuff.
Okay.
But yes, make them feel so special and important, because I think when you get to like my place in life, you have a bigger and better appreciation for that relationship and how special they really are without any of the constraints.
Yeah, and you have some other tips too, like, you know, just being silly with them.
Absolutely.
Or just,
have fun. Now, I look at me, and of course, my perception is I'm not as old as my grandmother was when, you know, she was my age. She seemed older. But I think we're more vibrant. We're living longer. We have a longer relationship with them. So enjoy it and have fun. And don't take things personally. Step back, take a deep breath, and appreciate what you've got.
All great advice.
Wow. I really
we
do
love talking to you, Marlene.
Thank you.
Yeah.